So let's do our second practice puzzle piece. We're going to do this one, and this one is going to be more of a challenge for us because it has a little more of a three-dimensional feel to it. The other one that we did in the previous video that looked like this, it was there was really other than the thickness of 0.75, there wasn't too many potentially confusing three-dimensional aspects to it. But here we've got this piece that sticks out right here and this one down here. So there's a few different ways we could go about doing this. So however you want to do it, you'll have your own freedom to do this in any way that you want. Let's do this. So we're going to use a little subtractive philosophy on this one to start with. So I want to make this L shape. My plan here is to make ultimately this L shape first and then tack on this square down here, this little cube down here. So, but to do the L shape, I'm going to do this. So let's start with a new document, new design, and go. Well, remember, I would like you to change the orientation here. So right, rotate it this way, click on that corner. Actually, I always forget to do that before I do that. Set this as front. Now click on this corner and set this as the home view. Now we'll go to Sketch, Create Sketch, and we'll choose that XY plane, the one down here. And I like starting off with a center rectangle. I'm going to make this rectangle 2 point, I'll make it 1.5 tab 2.25. Make it like that. I'm going to stop the sketch and I'm going to extrude this or press pull it to 0.75. 0.75 and hit enter. But this is obviously not an L shape. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hover over, see how this face lights up? So I'm going to right click on that face and I'm going to go down to create sketch. And what this is going to enable me to do is create a sketch on this particular plane. And on this plane, I'm going to create a rectangle. That rectangle is going to go from this corner out this way, and I want it to be about in like here. In fact, I want it to be 0.75 tab 1.5. Enter. So I want this rectangle right there. See that? That's all I created. Notice what's left over that isn't part of that rectangle is the L shape that I want. Or is it? Let me just double check. I guess any L shape would work. But you know what? To orient it the same way, let's do this. Let's say I want to put that rectangle in a different place. Keep in mind that you can always just go up here to the undo and take care of that. And we're going to go back and we're going to put that rectangle somewhere else. We're going to put it, double check. Yeah, we'll put it up here. .75 tab 1.5. There it is. And then we're going to stop the sketch. And now we're going to go to that rectangle and right click on it and do press pull. Here's we're going to do an interesting feature. We're going to take this thing. We can extrude it. We could take it in this direction and make it bigger, but that's not what we want. We actually want to go the other way. Notice if we go the other way, it actually cuts away by default. So what we're going to tell it to do, we're actually going to go through, and instead of having it go a specific distance, we're going to choose just go through the whatever's there, just go through until there isn't any more. But the issue is if it goes up, there is nothing to cut away. So we're going to do this part right here where it says flip, click that, boom. Now we'll take out, it'll cut away everything from this plane through the rest of the shape. And then we hit OK. Now, by the way, we could have also done it by doing this. Instead of it, we could go by distance and tell it to go, in this case, negative 0.75 down this way. That would also do it. Sometimes it works better one way than the other, but your call. Now I've got that L shape. Now I want, if I'm looking at this, I want to put a little block. Let's try to get it oriented the same way. I want to put this little, I guess it's hard to see that way, this little square down here, right here on the underside of this thing. So we're going to look at the underside, and we're going to right click on that, and we're going to create a sketch there. And that square, do a 2-point rectangle. I'm going to start in this corner, click once, and then move. And I'm going to make that 0.75, tab, 0.75 inches, and hit enter. Enter again. Hit it. Oh, I made a mistake, so we're going to go back, do it again. Should have hit enter twice. So 0.75, tab, 0.75, enter, enter. There it is. 2 enters in a row to it. Let me stop sketch. We have the square. You probably guessed it. We right click on it, do press pull, and take it. The arrow is pointing down, so we're going to go 0.75 should be all we need to do. There we go. Hit OK. And that should do it. Now, remember how to change the appearance. We can go over to here. It says body 1. Right click on it. Go to appearance. We'll make this one reddish color. So go over where it says, in this case, steel satin. Right click on it. Hit edit. Go out a reddish, or maybe an orange even. Let's see what we got. So I can scroll down here. That'll work. And hit done. All right, and there we go. So if we have a folder over here that I've shared with you, save it there. And also, in either case, go to this and capture image. Hit OK. Please do it as a JPEG. They work better in Schoology, my experience. Save to computer. Right now it's being saved to the desktop. That's fine. Call it practice puzzle piece 2. And then your last name, please. Not mine, yours. That's not my last name either. There we go. And as long as you've, now let's make sure we save it here. Yep, we gotta do that. So we're gonna call this practice puzzle piece 2. And like I said, your folder that you're gonna save it in should be the one that I've saved for, shared with you. And if you have any questions on that, where to save it, come see me and I'll help clarify things. I'm going to save this one in the, just put in my first practice. Okay. So there we go. There's our second practice. At this point, you should have enough tools to tackle all of your puzzle pieces and make them each different color and save them, call them, puzzle piece 1 and then your last name, then puzzle piece 2 and so forth and so on. Until you have all 5 of them created, and you should have 5 separate designs that you could open at any time and that I could open and look at, and that should work.